so kids oftentimes can't focus. Sometimes we do this and we have Ritalin and we pump our kids up with drugs, and I don't think that's necessarily the best solution, but it happens unfortunately a lot. How many people in the room have either an iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android on them right now? Here, wait, this is easier. Raise your hand if you don't have one of those. All right, come on, what do you have? I like that. Who else is there? Yeah, what do you got? What is that one? You have an Android phone. You're that one, yeah. Anyone have a Nokia device, just out of curiosity?
I'm testing it. It's an N8.
You like it? Cool. All right, so 95% of you, no matter how intelligent or interesting or boring I am, are going to check your phone at least twice while I'm talking. The other 5% of you are going to want to. How many of you have been in this situation? You're out with a friend, you're in a social setting, you're physically together, but you're not really together, and you're texting or talking at the same time? Starts pretty young. And that's actually Charlie Sheen, young tiger blood right there. And it keeps progressing, and lunches and dinners, and it's become sort of this social thing, almost socially acceptable, to be checking your phone while you're in social situations. TechCrunch wrote about it a few weeks back, and a blogger named MG Siegler went out to dinner with his mom, and his mom was giving him shit for continuing to be on his phone during dinner and texting and checking his email. And so he posted about it. And he posted, well, the headline says it all. And there were 436 comments, so people were really passionate about this. Most of the people were calling MG a dick for doing that in front of his mom, not really paying attention to his mom. But what if he was out with a friend? Is it socially acceptable to text and talk and sort of half be there with your friends? It's becoming that way. So in my world, which is mobile and mobile apps specifically, we see a lot of augmenting of reality and enhancing of reality. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, in my opinion, to be distracted in certain situations. Let me give you a few examples. That's Lady Gaga playing in Berlin. This is an actual picture that I took about 8 months ago. And check this out. I don't know if you can see these red arrows going across the screen, but there's about half the audience that's holding up a mobile device while she's playing. So you have Lady Gaga, one of the biggest rock stars in the world, very charismatic, interesting, lots of costumes. This isn't about the fact that she may not be interesting enough for you. But it's not enough for us to just do that. We can't just watch anymore. We want to share, we want to take pictures, we want to take videos, we want to tweet about it. Right in the moment. If you do it later, it's no good anymore. This is an example of a mobile device, even though you're distracted, enhancing your experience. Here's another example. Does this sound work? Cool.
Oscars tomorrow night. You can really watch the Oscars. For the first time ever, you'll have online access to more than 20 cameras that will show a lot of behind-the-scenes activities at the Academy Awards show. So let's bring in our digital lifestyle expert, Mario Armstrong, to explain some of this for us. Mario, happy Saturday to you.
Happy Saturday to you too, Ray.
How does this whole Oscar online viewing work?
Yeah, so here's the deal. The Oscars are like, hey, look, we want to make sure that the Oscars are more accessible. So basically, you log on, they have a brand new website at oscar.go.com. Brand new website that's been recently launched. They also have a new mobile app that you can download from the iTunes store, so you can use that on your iPod Touch, your iPhone, or on your iPad. And so all of this digital activity is about them trying to make, I think, the show more relevant and give you more access. And as you mentioned, you'll have up to 24 different video cameras, video streams, video feeds that you can look at. Everything from the red carpet to the behind the scenes and backstage reactions of the winners, all the way to their after parties and some of their events.
See, now I'm hearing this, I think a lot of people are going to be set up, they're going to have their big screen, plasma TV somewhere, then they're going to have their computer going,
That's
their
right.
Twitter going. It's going to be quite a scene. So you think they're doing this just to get it more attention?
Well, I think, if you really look at the ratings over the past few years, especially in 2008, there was a severe dip in viewership, and we are seeing more of what we're calling this two-screen experience, where people are watching television, but they're also using their laptop or their tablets or phones as a part of a companion viewing, so that you can do social watching together. You can tweet, you can follow hashtags, you can be engaged. In fact, with the live streaming with the Oscars this year, you'll also be able to ask questions that could be asked on the red carpet by some of the hosts.
So this is interesting for a few reasons. one, CNN has a digital lifestyle expert. This stuff is so new and so novel that everyone's still trying to figure it out, and there's people that make a living explaining to the normal people what this all means. Secondly, they're giving you 24 screens, and I used the app, and it worked pretty well. So you're watching the main Oscar broadcast. You couldn't watch the actual broadcast in their app, but you could do everything else. What's going on behind the stage, what's going on the red carpet, in the stands, etc. 24 different screens. This guy, in a year, is just going to be a reporter. He's not going to be a digital lifestyle expert. He's going to be a guy on CNN talking about some new app that's coming out. But the stuff is so new, we're still trying to figure it out. So, the world of mobile. 4 people born every second. So 4 people were just born. And 39 mobile phones were just sold. Mobile's completely exploding. Obama was inaugurated January of 2009. There were 4.2 billion mobile phones. A year and a half later, he looks a little grumpy. There's over 5 billion mobile phones. That's a 20% increase on 4.2 billion. Explosive growth. So, as I mentioned, over 5 billion mobile phones in the world, over 150 million iOS devices, iPhone, iPod Touch, iPad. Android is now the biggest OS in the world. Well, let me correct that. It's the biggest OS except for Nokia, which is going away, and it will be the biggest OS. 250,000 new devices every day are being sold. The iPad 2 came out yesterday. The first version sold 2 million in the first 2 months. That's one every 3 seconds. So Apple basically invented this new category called a tablet, or I should say popularized this category called a tablet, and sold a ton of them. Steve Jobs mentioned this a couple presentations ago. iPhone users spend an average of half an hour a day in apps. That's a long time staring at this little screen, these things we call apps. It's estimated by 2013 more people will access the internet from a mobile device than from a computer. I personally think that's going to happen next year. So, what does mobile even mean anymore? It started off with a mobile phone or a laptop. Now tablets are becoming popular. That's a car. That's the inside of a Ford car, and this thing has apps and their own app store, and mobile's going everywhere. Mobile apps accounted for half of all mobile internet traffic last year. So what is an app, which is my main business? An app is a focus. So we talked about ADD and how we're all distracted. I'll give you an example. If you go to Nike.com and you click on something and then you click on something else and you keep going, you could buy a product, you could read about something, or maybe you see an ad for a sponsor or something else that you click on for an event Nike's doing, and now you're over at this website that has nothing to do with Nike, and you're over here and you're totally lost. If you go to Nike's app, you're just in Nike's app. You're on lockdown. You're surrounded by them, you have tunnel vision. That's really what apps bring to the table over mobile websites. Here are a few examples. eBay, $2 billion last year on mobile devices. 70% was from their app, 30% was from their mobile optimized website. In other words, they did $800 million more on apps than through their website. Same product, same options. Their iPhone users spend an average of $65 a week. iPad is $85 a week. The most interesting thing here, iPad users were 50% higher than the same product, same options on the web. They were spending more money. It matters when you're a contained, quality UI experience. PayPal is exploding on mobile. 25 million in 2008 to $500 million last year. So, let me tell you a little bit about my company. We are the largest self-service mobile app platform in the world, meaning you don't need to be a programmer or a designer. You can go to our website, you pay a fee, you sign up, and you get instant access to tools to drag and drop and make your own application. You can build it once and go to iPhone, Android, and now BlackBerry. Here are a few of the bigger names we've worked with. We power Madonna's app, the Wynn Las Vegas, Drake, the Golden Globes, and the Beatles, Ozzy Osbourne, Twilight, Linkin Park, Miami Dolphins, and Taylor Swift. These are a few. We make money a few ways. The biggest way we make money is through the recurring software license fees. You pay us each month or each year. We earn money every time someone buys something from iTunes, and we're taking a revenue share on both advertising and in-app upsells that our customers do. Maybe they'll lock a special section, charge a buck for access, stuff like that. Our customers make money by selling stuff, selling digital merchandise. iTunes is very easy to buy. Physical merch, tickets, locking sections, and advertising in their apps. We are based in LA. I'm actually born and raised in LA, and we're started here. We have an office in London, Tokyo, and presently And just to give you an idea of scale, we just streamed our the slide I wrote 5 days ago is now 62 million track. 5 million users, 30,000 users a day, and we have about 1,600 apps published across iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry. So, the last thing I want to talk about is LA. I think LA gets a really bad rap with technology companies, and we're always compared to Silicon Valley, and what's the difference? And there's a reason. This is a graph showing the funding of last year, all the VC funding. 40% went to Silicon Valley. They did $2 billion worth of VC deals. LA is 5th, and they're at $300 million, so about 15%. So if you need to raise a lot of money, it is easier to do, though not impossible in LA, in Silicon Valley. That being said, I think LA has a lot to offer. Everyone seems to have an opinion of LA, starting with Woody Allen.
California, Max. Get the hell out of this crazy city. We moved to sunny LA. All the show businesses out there, Max.
Oh, I cannot. You keep bringing it up, but I don't want to live in a city where the only cultural advantage is that you can make a right turn on a red light.
Thanks. So, beautiful city. It can also be a really smoggy city. Sitting in traffic. We have Hollywood, and that's a good and bad thing. I think Hollywood often overshadows all the amazing things that are going on in tech here, and it's sometimes tough to break out of that noise. We're hanging out at the beach all day, we're surfing, the weather's so nice, you know those sort of things. There's a lot going on in LA. Here are a few examples. Some of you might know Jason Nazar. He has a company called DocStock in Santa Monica. He also has Startups Uncensored. Startups Uncensored is a once-a-month event where you go and you pitch your startup. Maybe you get funded, maybe you learn something. He has panels. Great asset in LA. TrueCar is trying to replace Edmunds. And this guy right here is a serial entrepreneur, and he's doing a damn good job. Mike Jones, CEO of MySpace. MySpace was started in LA. It's sort of, maybe on the decline today, but it's a great LA success story overall. You have Frank Adante at Rubicon, reinventing advertising in West LA. Elon Musk. Elon Musk was part of the PayPal mafia, and he made a lot of money up north, bought a house in Bel Air, bought a warehouse in El Segundo near the airport, and started SpaceX. SpaceX is trying to be the first private company to launch rockets, and they've already done it. This guy invented AdSense, which really is Google. I can almost say his software became Google, and that was invented in LA. He invented the technology called applied semantics, which Google bought, which then became AdSense. Damien Selford, CEO of Media Temple, one of the sponsors tonight, one of the largest web hosts in the world, based in Culver City. Ian Rogers, Topspin. Topspin is a technology company that's developing tools for artists to help sell and distribute and market themselves, based in Santa Monica. Matt Coffin, great angel investor, started Lower My Bills, sold it to Experian for a few $100 million. Jason Calacanis. You either love or hate this guy, but he's very vocal and it's good for LA. He is running Mahalo currently. Mahalo is sort of a Google, but it's curated by people. He also started This Weekend, which is a video series about angels, VCs, startups, etc. And Richard Rosenblatt. Richard just went public. Demand Media was one of the first tech IPOs in a very long time. It was successful, and this is the guy that sold MySpace to Rupert Murdoch 6 years ago, based in Santa Monica. Very great ecosystem of entrepreneurs. We have a lot of angels here. Starting with Ashton. Ashton Kutcher is invested in a couple dozen companies right now, and he's active and engaged, and he does act, but he does a lot of technology investing and advising. Guy Ossiri, who's Madonna's manager, is also very active, invested in a couple dozen companies. Paige Craig, who some of you may know. I don't even know how many companies Paige is in. Every time I hear, over 30? Okay, every time I hear of an LA-based company. I was with him last year at South by Southwest, and he carried his checkbook in his back pocket. So he's a very active angel investor, and now entrepreneur. Tom frequently co-invests with Paige, another great angel in LA. We have a lot of great events. Digital LA. You guys probably know Kevin, and I'm sure you know TechZulu in the background right there.